Today on episode 48, our Andy Pafko episode of Typical Chicago Fans presented by The Loop Sports, we have Sinkers and Floaters, a complete NFL Week 2 recap, campus tour, a Week 3 college football roundup, Diamond Talk on the Cubs and Sox, and a TCF top 3 most hated athletes. Let's roll.
One of the sponsors of today's podcast is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket search engine that never loses the sight of the fan experience. Simply go to their website, type in the name of a team, and choose the date you're looking to attend. SeatGeek will present you with a graphic chart of the stadium where you then can choose your seats and tickets based on a score system that determines the best value. If you've never used SeatGeek before, we partner with them to give you a great deal. Apply the coupon code TheLoopSports in all caps at checkout to take $20 off of your first purchase with SeatGeek. A $50 night for two at the ballpark becomes just $30. Or a $23 trip by yourself turns into just $3 with the coupon code TheLoopSports in all caps. You have no excuse not to go out and root for your favorite team. Just apply the coupon code TheLoopSports in all caps. Again, that is TheLoopSports in all caps at checkout to have a great time on us. Thank you to SeatGeek for partnering with us here at The Loop Sports and Typical Chicago Fans. Hello and welcome to episode 48 of Typical Chicago Fans presented by The Loop Sports. I am Zach Lilia. You can follow me on Twitter at ZLilia, LILJATCF. You can follow the main page at typical_Chicago. You can follow The Loop Sports at the loop_sports. Follow us on Facebook where we do a weekday shows usually between Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's usually about 8 o'clock. We go over like pretty much the stuff we do here, but we take questions. We interact with that, but we also put it on our YouTube page. We also have our podcast on there. And then Loop Sports, they put our podcast, share the weekday shows and our blogs and everything that we do for them. And then on Instagram, you can follow us on there, Typical Chicago Fans, where we do our ping pong games every once in a while. And we put out all of our podcasts on there, our intros on there. Sometimes when we do trips together, we put our stories out on there. So that's Typical Chicago Fans. And then the Loop Sports, they always have good videos. Bears, Cubs, Sox, whatever's going on there. And then usually our podcasts go up on there too. So Loop Sports on Instagram.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. If you're an Apple user, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. Tell everyone you know. If you're not an Apple user, you can find us on Spotify. Make sure to follow us there. And like Zach said, head on over to YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Hit that red subscribe button and catch all of our videos, our weekday videos, our travel videos, videos of the podcast, our weekly picks video. Everything's there. So head on over to YouTube and enjoy what we've got going on there. But big week, Zach. We had a lot of football going on this weekend, man.
A lot of football, a lot going on for both Chicago. The Packers kind of did what they got to do against the Vikings, who kind of showed their hand with Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is going to Kirk Cousins,
baby. He stinks. A lot of money to be like that. But yeah, a lot of football going on. Like I said, this is just week 2 of college, or week 2 of the NFL, week 3 of college football. So we're just getting into the thick of it.
We got a pennant race going on.
We got a pennant race going on where the Cubs are back in it. They are now 3 games out of first place against the Cardinals.
Brewers are a game behind the Cubs, I want to say. Game and a half maybe in the wild card for the second spot. But
yes,
the Cubs are also gaining on the Nationals.
Nationals are a game and a half behind the Nationals. So it's a very exciting time for Chicago sports.
Definitely.
And just sports in general. Just football is coming out. We got the Hawks actually played tonight. We're recording on a Monday night, and they actually do play tonight. I think they play. Where was that? London?
I'm not sure where it was at. I think they were playing the Capitals.
Yeah, but they weren't. It was not in America, I don't think. But yeah, I think they start here in about a month or so.
Yeah,
they'll be starting up here. So that we got, and the Bulls are starting training camp up here in a little bit with the season coming up soon. So we're really getting into sports, just packed full of sports. But before we get into all that, let's get into our sinkers and floaters. I'm going to get into my sinker. We've always gone back and forth with Tim Tebow as just you liked him as a Florida Gator.
Football player, college football player of all time.
We always go back and forth with that. That's just kind of funny banter.
Yep.
But it kind of got a little different when I texted you, even not even going on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I saw the Tim Tebow thing. I don't know if you've seen it yet. But let me know what you think about it. You text me back, and you're like, I think it was wrong.
Yeah, I love the guy, but he's wrong.
But what I heard something there on sports radio, or was it on I think maybe a podcast, maybe it was PMT, where they said that Tim Tebow hinted, I promise, he had a shirt with his logo on it. So you're making money off or setting yourself up for your brand, which is fine. But I don't get where you come off thinking that you are going to just sway everybody in the other way of athletes, not college athletes getting paid.
And like I get if you want to make that argument, but like his argument was wrong. Like it's not going to change college athletics.
The argument was just yes, maybe they're not supposed to be making so much crazy amounts of money because it's going to be hard to divvy it up between players.
Well, and I don't even think I think the conversation has moved away from actually paying athletes like
to how much?
But it's I don't think athletes are ever going to get paid for being an athlete. They're going to be able to get paid, and I think that's the biggest thing. Get paid to endorse yourself.
That's really the biggest
where
thing.
The money is.
Because kids, you can go out and maybe do a signing on the weekends, or
because
they can sell their memorabilia if they want to.
Because it's not financially responsible for a university to pay a football player the same. And no offense, none at all. I worked for a women's basketball program. We didn't bring in the same money that the football team at NIU did. So it's not financially feasible for them to pay Jordan Lynch the same kind of money that you're going to pay a men's rower.
No, but wait, it should be.
But if you can do the endorsements where kids can go out and make money off their own likeness, then we get, the NCAA football games back. We get kids that come from bad places. And that's kind of what Tim Tebow neglected to think about, was that he came from a very privileged family. Tim Tebow had everything he ever asked for, where guys, for example, Des Bryant spoke out about. Des Bryant came from a single-parent household. They don't have the kind of things that Tim Tebow had. So if you're able to go make money off that likeness, then how is that going to sway that much on if it's not going to make me less of a college football fan?
No, and like you said, he just kind of neglected to think about the other way of thinking about it. You maybe need money when you're in college, just because some of these guys are out there on Saturdays or playing basketball on the giant stages, that they're just they just have all this money to spend on food and whatever they want to, because they do get probably get food on the road and
they get stipends
but they're still
for food,
outside when they're about going to bed, if they're hungry or if they're going out for lunch or something. They should be able to, in a way, maybe go out and sell. The biggest thing I think they should do is campuses should have, if they're starting 5, they should have jerseys for all the players that are sold, and they get a percentage of what those jerseys are. And I know sometimes in college they like to just put the number on the back. But
everybody knows what a number 1 to a jersey.
I don't wonder how much money, and I understand he's going to the league to make that kind of money, and he was trying to make the statement that.
Here's the thing: you could also make it something cool. You say on a basketball team, you put all 13 jerseys in the bookstore, and you almost turn it into a competition. Guys can make stuff on social media hey, everybody go buy my jersey. You can make content out of it. And I don't know how many college programs you follow, but that's kind of the name of the game right now. And there's ways to go about that to make it more plausible for everybody that I think Tim Tebow is neglecting to take into consideration. It's not going to make people less of fans because some kid can make money off of selling his likeness.
And it was a little weird because he's never really come out passionately about much of anything like this. I mean, he always has his stance. Well, yes, God. Tim, I think Pat McAfee said that is it Nick Mangold?
Yeah, Nick Mangold.
He was the teammates of him, and he was like, I just never seen him that passionate about really anything other than football and God.
Right.
But it was just something a little bit different, and it was.
Like I said, I love the dude, but I disagree.
That he thought that was just a good thing to go out there and be on the other side of. But I think it comes off. I think California and
California has a bill that only needs to be signed by the governor to become a law that players can make money off their likeness. The NCAA is not happy about it and is urging the governor of California to veto said bill. So
Boomy,
we'll see what happens.
What's your sinker, Boomy?
My sinker is the Greenwood store in Greenwood, Mississippi. These bastards, all right? This poor community, I think it's a soybean factory is across the road, and then there's a convenience store across the street. And this convenience store, and I don't know how much you guys know what soybeans smell like, but especially when they're being processed, they're pretty terrible. And the store there, right across the street, has banned stinky people from their store, and it's in a direct kind of going at these workers that come in there to buy their stuff. And it's a soybean oil mill, I'm mistaken, but the owner of the store put notice: bad smelling oil mill people do not enter. That's rude. These guys are working hard, trying to make a living, and they're going to come into your convenience store
to buy stuff,
to buy some soda, maybe some cigs,
convenience
maybe
stores
some dip.
I've been in that has to stink.
Like, dude,
and you're going to tell those guys not to be able to come in there and spend money
that's salt of the earth Americans right there.
They're not coming in and stealing anything. They're coming in and buying stuff from you. I think that is just rude. And that store should be ashamed of itself.
I agree. I'm boycotting the Greenwood convenience store in Greenwood, Mississippi. So don't expect my business.
I will never go.
Never.
That's my promise.
Boycotting.
I will never go. My floater, LeBron James did not get the trademark Taco Tuesday.
We should have talked about this because I had trademarks was my floater too.
Oh.
But I want to add on to that. How about Ohio State getting denied the word "the"? That was great too.
That's just a little weird, and it's just kind of being the
okay. I love LeBron, but who the hell do they think they are? Taco John's has owned the trademark Taco Tuesday since 1989, and Ohio State. I get you don't like LeBron. That's way worse because you can't trademark the word "the." Piss off, Ohio State.
Yeah, that's just. Maybe the trademark companies have had to get a little bit tighter, a little bit stronger because they can't just be giving out all these trademarks.
I'm okay with this. I literally had down trademarks Ohio State and LeBron. LeBron, I love you, man, but you're not allowed to have.
Why would you think that you would just get the trademark Taco Tuesday? It's been around for a while.
And like, how hard is it to Google is Taco Tuesday trademarked? And then the first search says Taco John's trademark Taco Tuesday in 1989. You're like, oh,
his trademark team must have not been doing their.
Yeah, Rich Paul was out doing some other business. So.
Our floaters are trademarks.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
I don't mind the LeBron one because all he wanted to do was make T-shirts with his face on it that said Taco Tuesday. But Ohio State, it's the word "the." It's probably the most used word in the entire English language. Who do you think you are? Yeah. Alabama, maybe we'll think about giving it to them. Ohio State, sorry.
Yeah, that is awesome though because you know how confident they were and that they were going to get that.
Yeah, we'll get this.
Oh, we'll get this. This is going to be awesome. And then boom, they got denied.
Sorry about you.
But let's get into the crazy weekend that was week 2 of the NFL.
And I'm feeling it now, boy. I'm so tired. I'm beat. I also got I got a root canal on Thursday.
Yeah. You said your mouth's been killing you. Just to give me your last trip to the dentist for a while.
No.
Oh, you still got a lot more. I
still got one more filling. But I'm going to put that off. That's going to be a while. And then I may, depending on how Thursday's root canal goes, I may have to have another one.
Gee, so you're really you're giving the dentist all your money.
All of it.
But see, this is what happens when you don't go.
I know, man.
Either go for keep not going or don't go or just go and just be like, I'll think about it and never come back.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. After this one, if everything feels good, there's a good chance I just cancel the rest of my appointments.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you in 10 years.
Let's get right into it. Panthers, Thursday night against the Buccaneers. The Panthers, you had them in a survivor pool. I know a lot of people probably did. It looked like a game where they were going to be – Jameis Winston looked bad week 1. Oh, he looked – I wouldn't say I guess he didn't look bad, but he didn't. He had three interceptions that week.
Yeah.
I think Cam Newton's hurt. I think something's really wrong with him. He kind of said in his interview, post-game interview that he's gonna have to really think about how his shoulder is because he doesn't want to be a distraction for his team, or if he actually just cannot play, that he might. I don't know. And then thinking about that. Vinatieri, I think he's missed 3 or 4 kicks to start the year. He has not really talked to the media. I think he may also retire too.
Yeah.
So that'd be 3 big time retirees.
I don't think you're going to see Cam retire this year. I really don't. I think you're going to see him miss a lot of time because not only did he have the foot injury in the preseason game, but you can watch some of his throws. And I know a lot of GIFs and stuff were going on around the internet about guys missing their targets and, overthrow. But he missed some really easy throws. And if you watch, I saw a replay of his windup and he's got this weird hitch in it right now. I think there's something wrong with his shoulder. But let's be honest, even a 50% Cam, they should have been able to beat Tampa Bay. But I need you to do me a favor. Anytime I ever want to bet on a Thursday night game, can you just punch me right in the throat?
No,
I'm
because
never
I'll be doing the same thing. So I don't want to punch myself either. But yeah, the Panthers really went out there and disappointed us all. I had them -6.5. They weren't even close. They looked pretty dominant there at the beginning. But the Buccaneers took over, and then at the end there, it just looked like Cam Newton didn't have much in him. They wanted him to run. I just don't think he could do it. I don't think he had enough in him.
I think that foot's a little bit more banged up than we originally expected.
The tank was empty there at the end of that game. Big Bears game. Yes, it was ugly. It was ugly. The offense did not look that great again. We split the throwing and passing a lot more, which I like to see. Still little bit conservative. It was a lot of run, pass. Like you're setting yourself up for a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Maybe try and get a little bit of a.
And that's not fair to Mitch.
Pick.
I think Mitch is kind of getting vilified right now, and I'll be honest. I think Mitch is a decent quarterback. I don't think, and I know it's unfair to compare him to guys in this draft, but he's not better than Pat Mahomes. He's not better than Deshaun Watson. But you've got to put him in better situations because of the fact, like you said, there were so many like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7s, and now you're like, here's one down. Do your best, kid.
Yeah.
And then I don't even think the play calling is that great. I think Nagy is missing something. I
think he's getting scared because every time that Trubisky tries to go downfield, he kind of just scale it back from there because he gets nervous. Maybe try and get him little passes here and there instead of having to go for it on 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, and stuff like that.
And can we – I mean, I say we, but like just as someone who watches the games, can we stop like putting in that 3rd-string running back?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
He was in way too. He's a 3rd-string running back.
Mike
for
Davis,
a
you
reason.
mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a 3rd-string running back for a reason.
I can see that. I just think he likes having the 3 running backs there, but I do understand what you mean by that.
I don't hate at all. But you have Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery, and you're giving runs to Mike Davis.
But also, I want to scale it back a little bit on this was a big win.
Yeah.
Going into Denver, week 1 through 5 is very, very hard.
Right.
Week 6
a lot
is
of
hard.
feeling it out. Yeah.
And the air's weird. You're still trying to get into shape for the whole season itself.
For sure.
And people need to realize that they won. I understand the offense looked ugly, but you're not going to look back at it. And also, you should be happy because the thing that we've been worried about all offseason, all we've talked about is this kicker. Who's the kicker going to be? And it seems like I understand it's only the second game, and he's I think 5 for 5 now, or 4 for 4.
Yeah.
But he's clutch, and he seems very confident, which is just something you like to see. But I just don't get where everyone thinks, oh, we won, but the sky's still falling. No, we won. We move on to the Redskins, who I think is a worse team than the Broncos are. And you get to you're 1-1. You're 1-1, and 0-2 would have looked ugly. But we had a miracle there at the end. Yes, a little bit of a weird roughing the passer, but it went the other way with Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
I don't think he really threw him, but it was kind of one of those.
I thought that was a pretty poor call.
Pretty poor call.
Not a
it just goes both ways. You can't be mad at that call. You got to be mad at your coverage that gave up why Allen Robinson is that open.
Yeah.
And Mitch Trubisky, he does some clutch things every now and then. That was a big-time throw.
For sure.
Yeah.
And not even the throw, but how about to get
call that timeout, to have the
awareness.
Yes, Allen Robinson had the wherewithal
to get down.
But he also, you see him calling that timeout, which is awesome to see. There's a leadership there, which is if the leadership's there, we can build on the skills. And the skills have been seen.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the year, they haven't. But I'm not going to overthink a win.
Do you worry that Matt Nagy is maybe getting a little too advantageous in his play calling? I mean, I think he's calling a different game than he did last year. I mean, he was 12-4 for a reason. I know you don't want to necessarily throw the same stuff at the same opponents. I know you want to keep evolving as a coach, but if it ain't broke, why try and fix it? I mean, I heard something today. The misdirection that was there last year, you're not seeing a lot of that. And obviously we talked in week 1 about the imbalance of the run and pass. I mean, the Bears are not going to win games if Mitch Trubisky's throwing the ball 45 times.
No, but
but I think that's something going forward you have to be a little concerned about. Matt Nagy is maybe trying to be a different guy this year than he was last year. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I have watched both of their games, but I think 2 games is a little bit of a too small of a sample.
Sorry, I got pretty happy there. I have the Browns, and that was a big play. But it's a small sample for an offense that it's going to take a little bit of time maybe to get into it.
I don't care what time of the year it is. To go into Denver and pick up a win, no
it's
matter
a win's
as
a
ugly
win.
as it was.
A win's a win.
Yeah.
And yes, you were staring down 0-2 with 31 seconds left, but you got some good calls, you got some good plays, and you got a kicker that is a coming out party for the guy.
Definitely. And I like him too because he was a Florida guy.
Yeah, Florida guy. But you can tell he's not rattled by the moment because,
No.
like you said, he played at the Swamp. He's played in big games before.
Played at Alabama.
He understands
he's played at Georgia. He's played at
and
Tennessee.
you want that cockiness in a kicker. And that's what you could just tell Cody Parkey never, ever had, was that he knew that he was going to go out there and kick it. He looked scared every time he was going to go out there and kick it. So that, I mean, in that way, I think the Bears move on to the Redskins. You gotta just keep moving, and you gotta stop overthinking everything.
Yep,
it's a big win, and hopefully we can go
big
in
win
Monday
for
night.
My Packers.
Yep, big win.
Controlling the division right now. Let's not. Yeah, I mean, Green Bay played a great first half and kind of hung on. But let's not beat around the real story here. Kirk Cousins is ass.
He's not good. He's not clutch. That one throw when he was running back and he was just, you could tell he had nothing going on.
Yeah.
He threw it, interception. These defenses should be so happy when they see
not even
Kirk Cousins.
that, dude. There was a play where I think it was 3rd and goal, maybe 4th and goal, and he threw a pass about 8 feet over Adam Thielen's head. And he looked at Adam Thielen and pointed like this, like to keep going, like he was already at the boundary. Dude, that's a bad throw. Why are you blaming Adam Thielen for the fact that you can't make a simple throw?
What do you think about this? Is not just being. I'm not trying to be a troll. I'm just wondering. No points in the second half. Was that worrisome, or was that just a lot of run plays?
Yeah, I think they're because I mean, don't get me wrong. The
whole fourth quarter, it was only a 5-point game.
But I'm kind of getting to the point, and I know it's a small sample size, but I'm starting to feel like you guys did a little bit last year, where you're like, we might not necessarily need the points, but if our defense stiffens here, we've got the guys. Zadarius Smith is playing like a dog. He's a Pro Bowler right now. I can't remember the other Smith's name, but both Smiths that we picked up in the offseason have been dogs.
But are you afraid that when you come up against a team who may have a better offense than the Vikings, maybe that could come back to bite you?
But see, at the same time, like I said this as a joke last week, I really do think Green Bay right now is a top 10 defense. Top 5, I was being a little advantageous. But a top 10 defense, I mean, look at the way that the cornerbacks are playing. Now, I do get a little bit worried. We had a cornerback go down who's kind of been a flex guy. They've kind of moved him all over the field. I can't remember. I think Green was his last name. But that does worry me a little bit. But the safeties and the corners have been it's like having a brand new defense out there. We paid a lot of money for that defense, and you just won a lot of money. Good call. Still a lot of time, though.
No, I have the third quarter.
I know. There's still 3 minutes.
I know, but I was afraid they weren't going to do anything.
So,
sorry.
But it's a good step because the offense does look really good in the first half. I think they got a little bit too preemptive in pulling off the dogs. I thought they went to a lot of runs right up the middle that were kind of easy to see. But at the same time, they were moving the ball. They went for a 4th and 1, where they should have kicked the ball and taken the points. But the defense stood up, man. Our defense is good right now. I don't think we're better than the Bears defensively, but if we can continue to grow and continue maybe to add a couple players in this offseason, we're going to be a top 5 defense. And with Aaron Rodgers on the offensive side, if you have a top 5 defense and you have him slinging the ball out there, we're in good shape.
Yeah, because we kind of said something about it being the Bears, but the Bears quarterback situation is always kind of like, hopefully Mitch can go out there and do it. You don't have to worry about hopefully your quarterback's going to do it. You're more worried about your running backs, I would say.
It's always been. I mean, ever since
the running back. It just seems
Eddie
like
Lacy.
Even when they come in with a reputation for some reason, they haven't been able to find that dominant running back.
And I'll be honest, our offensive line is set up to be a pass-protecting offensive line. I mean, when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you build your offensive line in order to keep him on his feet, not necessarily to get the ball in a running back. So it's kind of that. To me, it's a little bit of a fine line. They should be better in the running game. I still think we're only 2 weeks into the Matt LaFleur era, so let's give it a little bit of time. There's definitely some tweaks that, even just little schematic things as far as like offensive line blocking or second level blocking that need to clean up. But I do like the direction we're going in. I'm not an idiot. I definitely don't think that we're a 13-3 team right now. But if we can clean up some things, I think we can have an 11-5, 12-4 record. Just because of the fact our defense is standing up, and we got Aaron Rodgers back there slinging it, and Devontae Adams is all over the field. Geronimo looked pretty good the other. Actually had a fumble right after he had a touchdown. That kind of pissed me off. Marquez Valding Scantling or whatever his name is. He's got good hands. I think we need to go back to targeting Jimmy Graham a little bit more. I think we're kind of moving away from that. But hey, we got the Broncos coming into town. I don't think the Broncos are a good team. Thank God we don't have to go 2 Mile High. That one would have me worried, but they're coming to us. I feel good about it. Let's just keep things rolling.
It's enough about the Packers, but let's stay within the division. The Lions beat the Chargers at home by
Lions
3.
are good,
The Lions
man.
are good. The Chargers never really travel well, but it was a good game. That puts them in second place in the division. I think the Bears are now
Yeah, because now the Packers are on top at 2-0.
I mean,
Lions are 1-0-1. The Bears are 1-1, and the Vikings are 1. So the Bears are tied for last.
I guess it's one of those who cares.
Yeah, exactly.
We had, let's see here, the Colts go into Tennessee, beat the Titans. I think Jacoby Brissett is going to be a good quarterback.
I do too.
I really like him out there.
Frank Reich is doing the right thing. He's not making Jacoby do anything that he doesn't, or he's not
17
comfortable.
for 28, 146 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. His passer rating was 95.2.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just out.
He's just doing the little things, man. He's just hitting guys, and luckily he's got T.Y. Hilton and a couple other characters out there.
And he can run. They can't just go for the run because then the quarterback can run, the running back can run, or he can throw it. So they are in a spot where they're going to win some games this year that they didn't think that the people didn't think that they were going to have.
No, I agree.
Even if Andrew Luck didn't retire, I think he was going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think he was just going to start the season. So this would have been the team that they would have had anyways, and I think they're off to a good start.
Are the 49ers for real?
It's tough.
They're looking good, but they have played two below-average
like
teams.
He should be.
Yeah.
And if they can stay
And
healthy.
they stomped the Bengals, who should have beat the Seahawks last week.
Yeah. So I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have a good season. I like George Kittle hasn't been doing too much.
No, but defenses are starting to adapt to him after last year.
I am a fan of him as a tight end. I think they're going to be good. It would be cool that the 49ers could maybe make it to the playoffs it's got to be since they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, since Kaepernick days.
The Dallas Cowboys beat the Redskins. I don't think the Redskins are a very good team. Dak Prescott, though, is going off on teams right now, trying to get that contract going.
So
26 for 30, though.
That's
269, 3 TDs, 1 reception. But I think he is out here trying to get paid right now. And I think, I don't know if he thinks maybe if he goes off here in the first few weeks that he can get paid right away. Right. But he's going to try.
I agree. He's playing well, but let's see what happens.
Randall Cobb, I forget he plays for.
He's been playing well
for the Cowboys.
How about the Texans-Jaguars in the under lock of the century? 13-12. Gardner Minshew steps in.
I think he's going to be a good quarterback here for the
Serviceable
Jaguars.
For sure.
I really do like him as a quarterback. I think he has the swag of a good quarterback needs. And the jockstrap story is pretty funny. Him stretching, getting ready for his game in that way. I just don't think he cares.
Yeah.
And that's what you want in your quarterback. And he's out there. He's trying his best. I mean, the Jaguars are only going to be able to go as far as he can. I know Nick Foles will probably be back. What do you think? Week 10?
Yeah, I was going to say week 10 to 12.
How long was Rodgers out for? He broke it twice or once?
Well, he broke it, and then he came back in he broke it in week 4. And then he came back in week 14 when we still had a chance to make the playoffs, and then we sat him after that because it was pointless. Texans got to get something offensively going because their defense isn't playing that bad, but 13 points is not
big
good
game
enough.
right here. The Seahawks beat the Pittsburgh
Steelers. Are done, man.
They go to Pittsburgh and win by 2. Big win for them, but also big loss for the
double
Steelers.
whammy for the Steelers. Yeah, they lose the game, and Big Ben.
And Big Ben is out for the season. I know he was. I mean, he's looked like he's been struggling throughout the right. And Mason Rudolph, what do you think of him?
Mason Rudolph was
12 of 19.
I actually
yards,
saw
2 touchdowns.
Remember last summer when I went to the Packers Steelers preseason game? He actually played quite a bit. I think he might have even started the game. He's not a bad quarterback. He was a slinger back in college. He went to Oklahoma State and could sling the pigskin around. He's not going to be bad, but they're so depleted right now from last year. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger. If you're 12 months removed from those 3 as your starters, now you're talking James Conner, who's not bad. You still have Juju, but now you have a very inexperienced second-year quarterback. You're going to struggle. And I think their division, Baltimore looks good. Cleveland's looking good right now. And I'll be honest, Cincinnati's sitting there at 0-2, but I don't think Cincinnati's is as big of a piece of turd that they were last year. I think Cincinnati's going to get a couple wins in that division.
Yeah. What do you think about the Buffalo Bills? 2-0 right now. They won 28-14. They have won 2 games now at MetLife Stadium this year. Do you think the Bills are going to be able to keep it going, or do you think it's
Let's
just
see
they play
what
two
happens when the
bad teams?
Bills play someone that is not a team from New York because both of those teams are
Not very
absolute
good.
dumpster fires. How long is the Eli Manning charade going to last in New York? It can't be long, right?
I think Daniel Jones should get a chance here.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, he looked good in the preseason. Might as well let him go out there. You're not going to win anything with Eli
They're
Manning
so
as your
far
quarterback.
removed from the Super Bowl Giants that we knew when we were younger. They're so far removed from that. Their defense isn't good. Josh Allen looks good, man. I mean, I don't think he's a good quarterback, to be honest, but he's done his job serviceably against two bad teams. Now, let's see. I think they probably have a little bit better competition coming up. Let's see what happens then. Patriots steamrolling the Dolphins.
That was
the
gonna
Dolphins.
happen.
Are the Dolphins going to –
They're bad. I just seen they have traded the Steelers are trading a 2020 first-round pick to Dolphins for safety Micah Fitzpatrick.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal for the Steelers. And I think
Micah Fitzpatrick's
that's pretty much just the Dolphins saying we're selling out here. We're done.
You're going to see a lot more moves, too, from them. They're going to just try to stockpile draft picks and keep it rolling from there.
The Baltimore Cardinals closer than I thought it was going to be. Kyler Murray, 25 for 40, throwing it 40 times a lot.
Yeah.
But
they told
Lamar
us,
Jackson, 2 TDs, no interceptions. Looking at another good game for him, a little closer than I thought that game was going to be.
For sure.
But Baltimore goes on to 2-0. Like I said, New England just steamrolled the Dolphins.
Chiefs looking good.
Chiefs looking good. I mean, what can you say about Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 44, 443 yards, 4 TDs. He had like 200 and something just in the second quarter alone.
They scored all 28 points in the second quarter.
It's insane. He's an awesome quarterback. They're going to be a team to reckon with. I think their defense still is not the best that you would want for an offense like that. But that offense is going to make them get into the playoffs either way. But I think that the defense could get between them, and they're not the biggest fan of their defense.
It feels like they coasted in the second half, and they still won.
Because Derek Carr is just not good.
No.
He's just not good right now.
You're going to see Nate Peterman at some point this year.
Really, truthfully, you are, because I think you're going to have – Gruden's not going to just wait around forever for it. The Saints losing Drew Brees for 6 weeks now. He has thumb surgery. I don't know if he's had it or he's going to have it.
Yeah, it's like
the Bears played them in 5 weeks at Soldier Field.
And in the same breath, Teddy Bridgewater was a starter in the NFL for 2 years.
Yes, but he is no Drew Brees.
Right,
it's also not in New Orleans either.
Right.
But
now,
yes, that's why you have a backup.
Exactly.
That you pay $7 million
pay a backup
to put yourself in a situation where they can maybe win a few games within these 6 games, because he was once a starting quarterback.
Absolutely.
He maybe could be for certain teams in the league. But the Rams took care of them 27-9. And then the Falcons beat the Eagles.
The Eagles
Aguilar
stink.
has the easiest catch touchdown ever at the end of that game. The Eagles just couldn't get it together.
Yep.
And I still don't believe in this Falcons team. I'm sorry about it, but I just don't.
Well, I don't believe
in
in the Eagles either. I think they're grossly they're being kind of praised right now. And I know they came back and beat the Redskins, but let's stop acting like the Redskins are world burners. So,
but we've that's week 2 here of NFL in the books.
We got the Browns up 23-3 over the Jets.
I love it. I love it.
Fire.
Yeah, the Jets are not that good this year, especially with their Sam Darnold being out for the next few weeks with mono. I did not know mono was like.
How do adults get mono?
Well, yeah.
No one I know has gotten mono.
I guess if you get hit too hard, your spleen could just bust because you're.
That's why it went around my freshman football team.
Oh,
and you're not allowed to play contact sports because if you get hit in the wrong spot, your spleen could just explode and you die.
Well, that's not good. But the Jets, not either. Even if they had him, I still don't think they would do very well in this game. Odell Beckham having a little bit of a coming out party for his Browns career is what I mean, because he had a one-handed catch tonight. He's had a 60-yard touchdown, 77-yard touchdown. So he's got that. He got a new watch on this week. So
clown, bro.
But. Hey,
$2 million watch.
You got it.
I want to see a helmet go to that thing so bad.
Week 3 is going to be another exciting one here for, like I said, the Bears play the Redskins, the Packers play the Broncos. Let's see, the Lions go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. That's going to be a tough one there. Where do the Vikings end up here? Do they play this week?
I think everybody plays till week 5. I'll be honest, I haven't even looked at the games for next week.
I don't know why I cannot find. Oh, they play Oakland at home, so that could be. Maybe you'll see. Maybe Nathan Peterman will destroy the I'm looking here. The Dallas Cowboys are 21-point favorites against Miami in Dallas, and I'm taking that all day.
I'm
every
taking
day.
21.5.
I would take 40 because I think it's going to be a blowout. I think Dak's going to try and get 8 touchdowns.
I think you're going to see Josh Rosen this week for the Miami.
Because I think it's going to be the week where Dak's like, dang, I'm going to make – this is really where the contract's going to come in.
Yeah.
So,
how much college football did you get into on Saturday?
I got into quite a bit of it. Like I said,
Same.
it still wasn't the greatest slate of games. They're still got to be coming up with some good games here. UNC, though, starts off as a big loss for me. I had the money line come out.
Didn't do anything till halftime. Literally,
they're
didn't wake up.
They're a fourth quarter team. But
Tried
Matt
to
Brown,
make
still,
it.
I think they're going to be good, but that was a disappointment to start the weekend.
How about
Kansas-
Les Miles picking up his first win?
Kansas goes to Boston College and wins
routs
by
them.
24. 24. So I think
good for Les Miles. I'm glad to see the old LSU ball coach. I've always thought that like Kansas should be something.
Kansas and Kansas State beat Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Go to Mississippi State and win. So Kansas State doing pretty well. Maryland
Oh, there was
loses,
two of them.
Yeah, there's two of them. Lose to Temple as the 21.
I almost bet that game and I got
21st
it
team
in
in the
too
nation.
late. And
It's a good thing you didn't.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get it together. They scored 2 in the first half. They must have had a safety there in the first quarter. They kind of got it together in the third, but only scored 2 more in the fourth. So they had themselves a tough day. Georgia routs Arkansas State.
yeah, that was a cool story though. Did you see that?
I did
Arkansas
not.
State's head coach's wife just recently passed away from breast cancer. So the entire stadium did a pink out and raised money for her foundation or whatever. So that was pretty cool to see.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, they rout Arkansas State. Alabama takes care of business.
Illinois.
And Clemson takes care of business. Illinois
Loses
pays
to
$1
Eastern
million
Michigan.
to get beat by a bad MAC team.
By a bad MAC team, but what did you expect? Illinois has not looked that great in their first 2 wins, but
My
Eastern
Gators,
Michigan-
we lose Felipe Franks for probably the year dislocated
Is that
ankle.
a bad thing for you guys?
No, he's
Still a good quarterback.
Right, he's better than our backup, but we were down, I think it was 21-10 at one point, and come rumbling back in the fourth quarter, 19 points in the fourth quarter on the road, never easy to do. I don't think Kentucky's that great, but we moved to 3-0. We're ranked number 9th in the country right now, and of course, it's Florida. We get a lot of blue chip recruits. Let's see what the next man up can do, because I don't think it's going to be that big of a blow. Like you said, Felipe Franks. Nothing to he's not a Heisman candidate or anything.
Penn
so.
State has some problems with Pittsburgh only winning
Pittsburgh's
by a
a
touchdown.
little bit better
at
than
Penn
anticipated.
State, though.
Yeah.
Ohio State. I
game was
very
sloppy.
wrong about that though. Indiana gets destroyed.
Indiana
51-10.
stinks.
So I was very, very wrong about that. Notre Dame. Oh, geez, they routed them.
Yeah, but they're playing nobodies.
Army gets a win on the road.
Army's pretty good.
UTSA.
Well, yeah, Texas San Antonio's a joke.
Still a big
How
one on
about
the road.
Arizona State and Michigan State playing a full entire college football game and scoring a combined 17 points?
That's a
No,
Northwestern
thank you.
Wins the over. Oh, the under hit in that game. I actually had that.
Yeah, I
so
was gonna say, you
30
had
to
that.
14 UNLV at home. That seemed like a game
UNLV's not good
but that
either.
just seems like a game that Northwestern would usually lose at home for
Yeah.
some stupid reason because their offense couldn't get it going. But 30 points out of that Northwestern offense, pretty crazy. Louisville with the win against Western Kentucky.
Now, it's kind of
Rivalry
not
game,
really
kind of.
locally, but closer to us. Minnesota was supposed to have a pretty decent football team, and they barely squeaked by Georgia Southern. They beat them by a field goal. You take what you can get, but that's a game at home. Georgia Southern's traveling from Atlanta.
Arizona State.
That's what I just said.
Oh, did you just say that?
Yeah, they played an entire football game and scored 17 points. They beat Michigan State 10-7.
Oh, I guess that
That's
was
trash. That's a terrible football game.
It's a terrible football game. 3 points in the first half, and then they both scored 7 in the fourth. So that had to be an
I think
exciting
Herm
game to
Edwards
watch.
is so annoying.
But that's a big win.
Yeah, definitely.
Iowa going to Iowa State winning by 1. That
yeah.
was a tough one, but I had Iowa State plus 2.5, so I was happy about that.
Definitely.
Also, I just remembered I had the Bears in our pick thing minus 2.5, so I did lose that. But I didn't bet that overall. So again, it's still
My Huskies are. I commend. Speaking locally, my Huskies are taking on one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the country.
But they are also making probably a lot of money for it.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to make the money, you're going to play tough teams. They go to Utah. They go to Nebraska, get routed by a good Nebraska team. And then I think we still at some point go to Vanderbilt this year.
So that's not bad.
No. I mean, we're probably going to make $2.5 million off of all when all's said and done. But, you're obviously not going to be playing for, any big bowls because you're going to have to fight it out in the MAC just to get to the MAC championship. We're playing Illinois State, but I remember back when I was at NIU, we would play Western Illinois, then we would play, some other, smaller MAC level school. Like we played like Cal Poly one year, who's a Big West school, but they're not that good. So they're not loading up on cupcakes. They're taking the money, but they know they're probably going to get waxed. So
Virginia,
it is what it is.
Team that Florida State, you were very mad at.
Florida State's trash. Willie Taggart doesn't deserve a job. He stinks.
Oregon, I didn't know Oregon was ranked 15.
Yeah, Oregon's got a good football squad, man. Well, yeah, they got the Herbert kid.
Yeah. And then Boise State back in the ranks, 22nd.
Boise State looks good, man.
They won 45 on that blue turf. Beautiful. Like I said, week 3 of college football was exciting. Look here. Let's look into this week 4 schedule. Some top.
But hey, guys, if you need any new swag, you're laying around watching, football on Sundays, you need some new stuff, head on over to our friends at 26shirts.com. We're excited to partner with 26 Shirts again for the month of September. They sell really cool shirts backed by an even cooler mission, helping those in need. Every 2 weeks, they offer an exclusive t-shirt for $25, and a portion of the proceeds from each sale goes to help a person or a family in need or an organization heavily involved in community outreach. The artists who provide the design receive a percentage, a life is impacted, and you get a limited edition sports-themed t-shirt that goes into the 26 Shirts vault, never to be printed ever again. Portions of the proceeds from the sales of these shirts go to help a person in need of serious financial assistance due to overwhelming medical bills. You can read more about this particular cause on the website. Thank you to 26 Shirts for sponsoring the podcast in the month of September. Go to 26shirts.com/Chicago to order your shirt. Help out a worthy cause. If you're a Bears fan, they got some sort of Ditka vest shirt.
Yeah, it's called the vest. It's a good looking shirt there.
I doubt it. I'm kidding.
But yeah, it's $26 right now on 26shirts.com. It's called The Vest. It looks like Mike Ditka's sweater that he used to wear. So go out there, support it.
I'll admit that's actually pretty good.
Support a good cause. They say mystery shirts on sale for I think $12, and then they got flags there. But let's get back into the college game. Like I said, we got four ranked opponents going at it this week on week 4 of college football. We got Utah going to USC. We got Michigan going to Wisconsin, going to Madison. That's going to be a big game there. Auburn, Texas A&M, and then we got Notre Dame, Georgia. So we got
Georgia is going to rout Notre Dame.
We have a great weekend of college football here. It's beautiful to get ourselves ready for a little bit of NFL Week 3 here Sunday. But Saturday, I think Friday's
This will be my first Saturday that I don't have a wedding in a month.
Utah, USC is Friday night, but the rest are on Saturday.
And there's still even some other. SMU is sitting at 3-0. They're going to TCU. That'll be a good game. Oregon and Stanford. I know Stanford's down, but you never, count them out of a race. Oklahoma State and Texas going at it. Colorado, who has beat Nebraska. They're going to Arizona State. You're going to see some good games this weekend. UCF is going to Pitt, who just gave Penn State a game. 2-1 matchup. Washington BYU, like you said. There's just some good football going on. Cal, who's 3-0, is heading to Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss is good, but shoot, you travel into a tough SEC environment, you're looking for trouble. So I can't wait for this weekend.
Yeah, me either. But let's get into it. We got Cubs. We'll get into it real quick. We kind of gone long here with our football talk, but that's going to happen every week here because we watch all these games. We bet on all these games. We're really getting into football this I always watch football, but I've watched more college football than I think I've ever watched. Yeah. And I've pretty much known what's going on in every NFL game, which I usually do. But for the podcast, we've been soaking it all up.
This is typical of me. I watched more of the Bears game yesterday than I did of the Packers game.
Was it on TV?
Yeah. Well, the Packers game was on, but I was at my niece's birthday party. Shout out Reese.
Love it.
Yeah.
But Cubs They're 3 games out right now. They are up 5-2.
5-2, yep.
And going in the 8th, the Cardinals have won against the Nationals. So the Cubs will, if they win, they will at least make up ground in the wild card game.
For sure.
And I'm fine with staying close with the Cardinals because we have them this weekend, then we have them next weekend.
Yep.
But so whoever wins the games between the Cardinals and Nationals, if the Cubs can just win out the series, they will make up ground in at least in the wild card or the division. But they can only make it up in the wild card tonight and stay within 3 games of the Cardinals. But like I said, we have 7 games in the next, 13 days?
Yep.
Against the Cardinals. I don't know if I think my math is right
Yeah,
there.
so if so you did say that if the Cardinals beat the Nationals and we win tonight,
the Cubs will be a half game out of the first wild card spot.
Okay.
Because I think
I thought they'd be even. Because right now the Nationals are a game up. So if the Cubs win and they lose, they'd be even.
You might be right.
We'll see. We're not great at math here. Don't take – I thought that's how it worked.
What do you mean?
If they lose and we win, we
I think
gain a whole
they already
game.
have factored in the Nationals losing on your thing. So that would be the half game.
Oh, it says oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they had already lost. So I think they already took the half game out.
Gotcha.
So if the Cubs are hopefully win here, they're up 5-2
but yeah, I mean, a
against the
big
Reds.
weekend sweep.
Big weekend sweep.
What did we score? 46 runs, 47
the
runs
most in a series the Cubs have ever had. Then we come out. We have 5
the
tonight.
wind was blowing out the entire weekend.
But sadly, Rizzo goes down with an ankle injury. He's going to at least be in a boot for 5 to 7 days. I'm guessing we will not have him back in the regular season. Like they're saying, we're playing to get 2 of our best players back. If we can get to that playoff, we can get Javi and Rizzo back possibly. That would be a whole different team. And you can say you can keep Nico Horner in there, and you can just do what you want with that.
Have a day, son. As Wrigley Field opening, didn't he have a
Awesome.
double
Nico
and a
Horner,
home run?
He really proved just what kind of a player he is because he came into a huge moment. Like I said, he was getting ready for fall ball.
Yeah.
He was not getting ready for this, and he comes in at Petco, has a great series against the Padres, and then goes back to Wrigley, has another great series, and he looks like he's going to be a Cubs shortstop for the time being, or a second baseman whenever Javi comes back, or whatever they want to do with
Get rid of Addison
But guess what?
Russell.
Addison Russell, this could be your goodbye. See you later.
Thank God.
But Sox, Eloy is player of the week. He's been playing well. They're looking good here at the end of the year. Doesn't look like they're going to bring up Luis Robert.
Nope.
But you're playing. Eloy's playing well. Tim
Anderson has the best batting average in Major League Baseball,
so
I believe.
It's all positive here going into the end of the season. You knew
Definitely.
it wasn't going to be there. But you get ready. You got Kopech coming back here at the beginning of next year, and you have Rodon at some point next year. So and then whoever you try and pick up in the offseason. So it's going to be exciting.
I think as of right now, the White Sox have the 9th overall pick. Shout out to James Fox from the Loop Sports. He was hoping
great stuff.
Yeah,
on, the Sox there.
Definitely. And he was
very
hoping they
truthful
can
about
get
the
to the 7th pick if they can just tank a little bit harder.
A little bit harder. So, but Eloy's playing great right now, and Tim Anderson's keeping that batting average up.
Every at bat you got to turn on.
But
he's a dog.
But the Cubs are in the thick of a race for the division and a wild card spot. So it's exciting times here in Chicago. And like I said, the Sox they're trending up in a way. They're gonna have an exciting offseason. But let's get into it. We're doing top 3 most hated athletes. Boomy, what got you thinking about that?
You had I came in tonight and into the cave. You had the Browns game on, and I remember seeing on Twitter today that OBJ is wearing his $2 million Rich Millie whatever watch. He's a clown. I don't like him. I hope someone puts their helmet right on the face of that thing and shatters it. That's clown stuff. And then obviously with all the AB stuff going on, I can't stand him either. Now for even more reasons if he actually is guilty of these things that he's being accused of. There's just a lot of athletes I don't like.
But yeah, want me to start?
Sure, I'll let you.
It doesn't seem that way right now, but Alex Rodriguez in the prime of the Yankees, he was very hated by, just baseball fans in general when he was getting suspended. He was just kind of seemed like he was being arrogant with it. He took a whole 180, which was just wild to see where he's come from all the steroid allegations and how he ended it with the Yankees to where he is now with J-Lo and getting married and stuff. But, he was very hated, I think, for the time being. For
and rightfully
a few years
so.
there.
He steered into it.
He steered into it, and I think he's really – it's a crazy transformation he's really made in the spotlight.
Definitely. My number 1, I'm going overall, Reggie Miller. I grew up, in the Bulls 90s era, and Reggie was always the guy that I was like, I don't know if my dad like taught me to it, but like I hated Reggie Miller. I thought he was a clown. I thought he could only do one thing, and that's shoot a three. I hated Reggie Miller, and I still am not that big of a fan of him calling games. I'll be honest, I don't. I think it's just deep-seated hate from when I was younger.
I would have to say this is going to be a very typical Chicago fan, most hated player, Isaiah Thomas. The Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, okay. I was like the little short guy that plays for the Celtics.
I feel like they always did not like him in Chicago. I mean, he's from Chicago. Yeah. But it seemed like he never liked Chicago when he played for the
Pistons.
The Pistons, and then the whole Dennis Rodman for 30 for 30. That he was kind of saying that Chicago didn't give Dennis the welcome, the love that he should have gotten, and he even got emotional about it. I don't know if it was just playing up the camera. I also just don't think Isaiah Thomas is a good person.
Yeah, he's kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah, but so I think, especially that's a good typical Chicago fan.
Yeah. Well, I got another one that kind of goes with that. Albert Pujols. I know he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, but just in general.
But just like the fact he just ripped my heart out so many freaking times as a Cardinal. Like we'd have a decent year, or we'd need a couple games here or there to make a playoff run, and Albert Pujols just hitting a ball a country mile. I hated Albert Pujols.
You know what? I'm gonna stick this to top 3 most hated Chicago, like. For Chicago people,
yeah,
I'm gonna go with LeBron James, just for that simple fact of.
It's funny you say that because I actually have written down 2009 to 2015 LeBron James
all the time
because I hated LeBron.
I remember Derrick Rose had that game winner. We went up 2-1 the series, and then LeBron James just turns it around. We could never get over that hump, and it's just the same way with Albert Pujols. We couldn't. The Cubs couldn't get past him. The Bulls could just not get past any team that LeBron was on.
Yes, I completely agree.
What's your 3?
This is tough. So there's a guy who probably really didn't do much as a professional, but he seemed to every time we faced him. I think he was with the Brewers and the Astros at one point. Giovanni Gallardo. Do you remember him?
Not really.
He was a very average pitcher, but he just owned
the
Cubs.
Huh.
Owned. It felt like, and I don't even know if the stats would even back that up, but he
just in your brain.
Every time I feel like I watched him start against the Cubs, he like pitched the game of his life. So Giovanni Gallardo is in my number 3. Me and my brother and dad always have a joke about it anytime we would see him like, oh, he just got shelled for 8 runs, but don't worry, he'll shut the Cubs out in 2 weeks.
So that's our top 3 most hated athletes. I had A-Rod, Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons. Isaiah Thomas.
I went Reggie.
Oh, and LeBron James.
Yep. And I had Reggie, Albert Pujols, and Giovanni Gallardo.
So that was our top 3 most
hated.
Let
us know if you guys got any.
Yeah, let us know.
We're definitely forgetting some.
So just tweet at us, DM us, whatever you want to do. Let us know some of your most hated athletes, just in your opinion, or just you can tell through your scope of being a sports fan. But that was episode 48. We're here. It's getting late here on a Monday. Boom is getting a little sleepy over here. But thank you for listening, watching us here. You can follow me on Twitter at ZLilja, LILJATCF. Follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Loop Sports is at the loop_sport. Go to our Facebook page, follow it. We'll be telling you when we're having our weekday shows between Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 o'clock. Great coverage, just like this. But you can come interact with us, yell at us, whatever you want to do, mess with us. Whatever, just come and watch us.
Just come and join us.
Enjoy us. We're here to have a fun time here on a weekday. And then the Loop Sports, they usually share it for us. They put our podcast up, blogs and everything go on there. And then Instagram, we do ping pong. We put our stories, we put intros. We tell you when our podcasts come out on there too. We Instagram story whenever we're doing stuff or podcasting. And then the Loop Sports are also on there. They have Cubs, Bulls, Hawks, Sox, Chicago sports-based videos on there, and our podcast.
They do. Make sure you head over to Apple Podcasts if you're an Apple user. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review to the podcast. If not, we are on Spotify, so follow us there. And like Zach said, head on over to the YouTube page. Catch up on all of our content that we've done. I think we've been hammering stuff into the YouTube page for almost a year now, so head on back. And make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF.
Yep. Like I said, episode 48 are in the books. We got week 3 of football, NFL, week 4 of college football, and then we got Blackhawks coming up. They got their first preseason game tonight. We got the Bears only on to week 3 of their season, now 1-1, and the Cubs are in the thick of a playoff run. So sports in Chicago are exciting. It's more exciting than they have been all year right now.
Absolutely, this is the best time.
It's the best time of the year. You're not gonna be bored any nights in Chicago for a while here. So and the football's back. Basketball's back.
Sports are back.
Sports are back in general. We got in the lull of things in the summer, but we're back. We're ready to get at it. So thank you again for listening to episode 48. We love you all.
Peace.